After roughly 9 years on YouTube, Saint FREELEE of the Banana has managed to create religious-like devotion to her thousands of fruit bats with her militant approach to veganism. Spreading her message through skimpy pictures, belly-bearing poses, and bosoms of silicone, she has managed to captivate swarms of followers. FREELEE has many questionable attributes, and in order to break this down, we'll go over some of her major flaws. There is a massive amount of evidence which shows FREELEE as a dangerous woman, and yes, makes people want to do things that they shouldn't. According to FREELEE, she is not only the premier expert on all things diet-related, but she is also a cancer researcher who happens to know the real cure.
And follow a plant-based diet. It's been shown time and time again to be the healthiest way to eat, to actually reverse cancer. So before you just run in there and get all fearful and go and get the chemo or the radiation, explore a plant-based diet. You will not regret it. Now you have the knowledge, so put it into action.
The key bit in her senseless rant is that she states plant-based diets reverse cancer. Now, the World Health Organization concluded that red and processed meats are carcinogenic, but avoiding them is preventative, meaning veganism does not cure cancer, but reduces the likelihood of developing cancer. FREELEE manipulates previous research and concludes that cancer can actually be reversed just by going vegan.
It's been shown time and time again to be the healthiest way to eat, to actually reverse cancer, reverse cancer, reverse cancer.
These are two completely different claims, and yet FREELEE will use pseudoscience to further her agenda. This is dangerous because she literally tells thousands of people to avoid modern therapy, which has been proven time and time again to cure and prolong patients' lives, and instead believes chemotherapy is a money-making scheme conspired by thousands of faceless corporate doctors, all out to keep you sick. Instead of modern medicine, she vouches that we should look into alternatives in order to find the cure for cancer, such as a raw food diet. Her willingness to spread false, life-threatening information is constantly seen in seemingly harmless videos and is dangerous to the unsuspecting viewer.
To talk about how she overcame a serious disease on this lifestyle, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, what exactly did you overcome?
So when I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with the terminal form of brain cancer, and after going on a raw food diet, I totally cured myself.
That is amazing.
It's easy to imagine a vulnerable, afraid FREELEE fan seeing this video and becoming enthralled in the idea of alternative medicine when faced with serious diseases. Many people have fallen into this trap of false hope in alternative medicine and diets. Steve Jobs attempted to cure his pancreatic cancer for 9 months just by using alternative treatment and a vegan diet. He regrets this choice, since this caused him to seek modern medicine when it was too late, and died in October 2011.
You will not regret it.
When we're faced with extreme suffering, we are willing to put our hope into unproven treatment, and FREELEE cultivates this feeling and pushes her agenda by utilizing the fear we have of being sick. FREELEE's stance on vaccines further demonstrates how much she relies on dangerous pseudoscience and further discourages people from proven healthcare techniques.
What do you think about vaccines going to Thailand?
Don't do it. Don't poison your bloodstream.
FREELEE doesn't, I don't. We don't
do it.
recommend
Never
it.
ever done that. No, I did it when I went to Vietnam in 2004, and I can't tell you how sick I was. I was so sick. I had malaria vaccine, and oh my god, I had nightmares the whole time. I was ill, very, very ill. That was just part of the reason. I was also eating animal products, so don't do it.
Look after your health
Yeah,
before
like,
you jab stuff into it.
always consult your doctor first, so.
We don't do vaccines in
Personally, no, we
Asia. That's what we don't do. So you do what you want.
Yeah,
We've done our homework, and FREELEE doesn't like doing them anymore, and I've never done them. We get bitten by mosquitoes daily.
And what homework did she really do? In a past article, FREELEE discusses her credentials. She's very clear that she graduated high school and had attended college to study dietetics. The strange bit is that she makes it clear to viewers that she graduated high school. However, it's very wishy-washy that she graduated from college. To avoid further questioning, she instead switched the subject to fat dietitians. She also mentions how she has advanced certification in nutrition. However, it seems very likely she is a college dropout. So where did this advanced certification come from? When asked for credentials, she stammered,
So I have conventional certification in nutrition, but I don't use that training at all anymore because it's so heavily funded by the meat and dairy industry that the information is just incorrect.
What certification do you have, FREELEE?
So I have certification in nutrition, so advanced
From where?
certification. From the Australian Institute of Fitness.
Some of the most common traits of a well-rehearsed liar are they might avoid eye contact like this.
From the Australian Institute of Fitness.
If her credentials aren't confusing enough, an Australian Institute of Fitness representative stated that FREELEE has never attended the school. To go one step even further beyond, another YouTuber has analyzed a comment of FREELEE's where she states she dropped out of her program. No further details are provided, and again she proceeds to strut her physique and brags about anecdotal evidence from herself over thousands of peer-reviewed papers. So far, we have FREELEE saying she has advanced certification in nutrition, but it is not from a college or university. FREELEE alludes to dropping out of a dietetics college program, and yet she defends that she has an advanced certification in nutrition. This is refuted by further evidence denying her taking classes from the Australian Institute of Fitness, which she claims to have attended. Therefore, her entire education can be summarized as being a college dropout who read online blogs. Of course, avoiding eye contact does not mean someone is lying, and being a college dropout is nothing to make fun of, but to preach to people about nutrition, which requires extensive knowledge and schooling, and pretending to be something she is not is what the real problem is here. Furthermore, FREELEE openly dismisses mainstream education, which only adds to the danger she presents to her viewers. Even if FREELEE can magically explain the discrepancies between the statement of her dropping out, of her completion, and the statement from the AIF, and even if she does have a certification from the AIF, it has nothing to do with cancer and vaccine knowledge, and it is abundantly clear that her homework consists of alternative medicine echo chambers, which only add to her ego. It definitely does not take a PhD to be an animal activist, but to tell people to listen to your claims about health and modern medicine without sufficient education is bananas. FREELEE openly admits that she is willing to back individuals who manipulate their audience if it is for a good cause.
Her ability to manipulate her audience to get them to believe anything that she says is pretty darn amazing. It is impressive, and if it was for a good cause, I would have your back, girl.
From this, we can assume that she would also be okay with manipulating her own audience if it was for a good cause. While this seems like a huge accusation, there is tons of evidence of her actively manipulating information to push her agenda and produce controversy. One of FREELEE's major selling points is her body, which is constantly sexualized in order to convince people that her diet is something of godly descent. In addition, FREELEE always discusses the virtue of being natural and goes as far as to say that we shouldn't accept vaccines into our bloodstreams. However, it seems completely fine for her to plaster 2 giant pieces of silicone in her chest. And FREELEE loves to bash doctors as money-grubbing snake oil salesmen, but she seems completely okay with a surgeon sticking their hands in her bosom. It's a genetic miracle to have such a lean figure and such a full chest. This simply isn't attained just by going vegan. Clearly, if FREELEE has changed her opinion on implants, she would either stop featuring them on Instagram or would have them removed. FREELEE is notorious for embarrassing celebrities for gaining weight or having eating disorders and telling them to go vegan. At the same time, she discusses how celeb gossip is a distraction from real issues. Celebrity weight gain is nothing more than tabloid fodder, and yet one can easily assume she's attempting to cultivate controversy for her own narcissistic aim.
So today we're talking about Kim Kardashian. Is on Kylie Jenner. On Ariana Grande. Lady Gaga. Megan Fox. Selena Gomez. Shop. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like these flaky celebrities. You know, to not focus on things that really truly matter in life, but to be distracted by movies and by celebrities, and football and shit that really does not matter. Hey Fruit Bats, so today's video is on Britney Spears. Hey Fruit Bats, today's video is on Katy Perry. It's Banana Mama here. Today's video is on Jennifer Lawrence.
Her search for views and controversy has resulted in her conflicting with her own sense of worthy discourse. Of course, she'll defend herself by saying it's all for the animals. However, that plays into the next critique of FREELEE. FREELEE demands viewers to believe as she does, and her extreme viewpoints naturally generate controversy, which is what she wants. In one such video, she wants vasectomies for all men and tests in order to have children. It is easy to imagine what kind of test she would make, and these arbitrary tests and forced vasectomies would result in the violation of reproductive rights, which FREELEE is against for animals, but fine with for humans.
So what I propose is that people have a test. They need a license, a permit before they procreate, before they have children. They need to pass a test. And that men get vasectomies. All men have to get vasectomies.
Furthermore, she advocates that everyone should be forced into a vegan lifestyle, and if you don't believe as she does, she thinks you don't deserve to continue to live.
You should be forced to be vegan. You should absolutely be forced to be vegan. You just gotta step the fuck up, or you really don't deserve to live on this planet.
The hypocrisy exists as she criticizes individuals for being mindless drones if they think differently than her. In reality, she's completely fine with drones, except only the drones that agree with the raw Till 4 echo chamber she has made for herself.
So what are you doing? Why aren't you here in Thailand with us on your bike? It is so amazing here. It's so good. It's just such a cool place. So many like-minded people.
FREELEE is constantly an aggressor and will pounce to critique anyone's diet, vegan or non-vegan. Interestingly, she says,
I don't give a fuck what approach you do, as long as you do it. The animals don't give a fuck what approach you do, as long as you do it. Just do fucking something.
She likes to believe that she doesn't care what approach someone has for veganism, and yet, in the same video, she criticizes and berates other vegans to brew internal conflict within the movement to catapult her as the queen of all vegans.
And you get these egotistical vegans out there who are like, well, I don't like your approach, so I'm gonna make a video saying that you should change your approach, you should be more loving and peaceful, and yeah, so like, your approach doesn't work.
FREELEE also attacks what it means to be vegan and modifies it from someone who does not use animal products into someone who supports her. She proceeds to call them fakes and claims they are jealous of her. It's very clear that being vegan does not involve supporting vasectomies for all men, and people within a movement should be allowed to question figureheads without being ostracized. FREELEE is quick to expel anyone who dares to question her infinite wisdom and grace.
This is ridiculous. This is like being a fake vegan that you're acting like this.
So FREELEE, tell us about these jealous haters.
Jealous, fake vegans. That's what I call them.
Ungrateful fucks.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Like, just to see some videos and some posts that some people out there, girls in particular, which isn't really a surprise because there does seem to be a lot of jealous types.
Jelly bitches.
Yeah.
When faced with criticism, she regresses into prepared, cookie-cutter responses, which are to flaunt her body,
Put into perspective, and it's always people who are out of shape who seem to be saying that to me, or who don't have the results that I have.
show off her subscriber base.
I'm getting these results for thousands of girls via my YouTube channel, which has nearly 600,000 subscribers and 12 million views per month.
And to use animals as a scapegoat for her pseudoscience approach, as well as her malicious behavior.
You know, getting the message out fast and efficient, bang, bang, bang. I just want to get the message out there because I know thousands of animals are dying every fucking single second.
FREELEE discusses how people criticize her for being negative.
And I know there's a lot of unicorn huggers out there, you unicorn huggers who are like, oh, FREELEE, you're so negative. You always focus on the negative. Oh, FREELEE, be more positive. FREELEE this, FREELEE that. Oh my God, you create your own reality, FREELEE.
Then associates that with the negative aspects of animal use in society.
The slaughterhouses still exist. The fur farms still fucking exist. They are still there regardless of you turning a blind eye to them and focusing on other things.
She is delusional that people are criticizing her for discussing animal use. In fact, people are calling her negative because of her rampant use of insults and her incredible superiority complex, which is designed to insult her way through arguments.
To 110 degrees Celsius
Oh God.
and separate.
I'm sorry, but it's just straight up. It looks like a fucking snot in a bowl. Like someone has snot in a bowl. Look at that mucus-y stuff. Look at it, dripping.
Dark chocolate and 150 grams of.
Look at her smile. Look at her little little smile. And you know she's spreading it to millions of people, and that makes her a pretty bad person, I have to say.
Add 180 grams of mini cream
shit,
eggs
she's
or
trying to
any
kill
other small
people.
chocolate egg of your choice.
Fucking educate yourself.
Is Samantha trying to kill her viewers?
Have you noticed that she's actually starting to grow? Miss Dear Fat People is starting to expand. And I wonder if it's all the bacon you're eating.
So Trish, anyway, I know you're obsessed with Pamela Anderson. I know you try and look like her all the time. Like, look at Trisha here. She is definitely trying to look like Pamela Anderson. And whether she's pulling that off or not is another thing. You just gotta step the fuck up, or you really don't deserve to live on this planet.
She uses a straw man argument, which somehow turns the negative of herself into the negative of animal use, and claims that people just can't handle the truth. People are criticizing her for being a negative person, not because of her discussing the use of farms. It's fine for her to show negative lives of animals, but she has manipulated the critique into that people are mad at her because she talked about fur farming. She hides behind the skins of animals in order to justify her own insane behavior. To conclude, this video is not meant to bash veganism and is only targeted at FREELEE. Just because FREELEE boasts about saving people's lives, it does not mean she should be treated like an infallible god. She positions herself as dictator in the vegan movement, and her loyal subjects will attack anyone she deems unworthy of her blessing. In reality, she has created a cult-like following which will evade all critique by demonizing others as uncaring and cruel. There are many other vegan YouTubers who do not follow this approach, as well as credible vegan nutrition sites that you can follow instead of her.
Anyone can upload my videos. You can re-upload my videos, monetize them. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter.